although I don't see the red dot. There you go. I got a rookie on the switcher today, folks. Sorry about that. So we're back live here. Jerry Brown, Gio. We're going to do a wrap-up of the SSA Czarnik Class A National Championship Tournament. We got a few guests coming up. And Jerry, good to see you again.
Always nice and pleasure to be back.
So first of all, I'd be not doing my duty if I did not mention the fact that we got jammed up. We got all these tournaments back to back, and we didn't quite give Signature their due after winning the Midsummer Classic. So we're going to show you a couple of pictures of the teams that were finished first and second and the MVP. So George, if you could pull that up. So there's a nice picture of Signature. They won the Midsummer Classic, Jerry. They lost their first game, came all the way back through the losers bracket, and double-dip flashback to win the title. How about that?
Yes, that's pretty good achievement right there. I mean, to lose your first game and come back and rip off 9 in a row is pretty amazing.
And, they really pounded the ball the whole weekend, and Danny Marston in particular had a great weekend. He ended up winning the MVP award, and he's our hit leader in the summer series with 50.
Yeah, we should do a recount. I'm really sure that Wesley Shannon had 51 hits, but I'll check the scorekeeper later.
You always sound like you're recruiting.
No, I'm just speaking the facts.
So Wes is playing good. He is the leader. And let's see if we can't show you a picture of Flashback that finished as the runner-up in the Midsummer Classic. They had a pretty good tournament as well.
Oh, yeah.
And they went clean, and then Signature caught them in the 2 championship games, snuck past them both games, tight games, good ball games. And we still have yet to see Flashback with their entire starting lineup yet.
Yeah, they're in hiding. They're waiting for the no glove. So they had a couple players hitting away. I
got a rumor that Vito might not be there, so we may not see their actual starting lineup until Joliet.
Oh, wow.
So, and that's a scary thought because they've been first in one tournament, second in another, and fourth in a third. They're our point leader by about 25 or 30 points in the summer series. So they're having a tremendous year. And I thought they were going to be the first team in a while to win 2 in 1 year.
Not so fast, my friend.
Yeah, Signature had different ideas, no doubt about it. And let's go to the next slide, George. We've got nice picture, the George Bliss MVP Award at the Midsummer Classic, and there you get a good view of Danny Marston. He looks a little bit like Julian Russell, who we're going to see in a little bit. All these kids are sporting these beards now. So, and we're going to have them coming up shortly. So, we're now going to take a quick break. We'll show you some of our sponsors for that summer series, Sweet Buzz and Gold Rush Gaming. If you can pull that slide up, George. And, please support the people that support 16-inch softball. So when you come out to our events, you see the banners, make a mental note. And if you need any of those services, please support them. Okay, so let's get back to the next slide here. These were the top 8 finishers. Of course, the Dirty 38s. They came back and beat Los Barachos twice after Los Barachos dumped them in the losers bracket.
Okay.
Diesel's kind of a surprise, finishing 3rd. They had a great weekend. Looked like they ran out of gas on Sunday, but they had a real nice tournament. Fat Kids finished 4th. They're just seemingly having a hard time closing the deal. They start out quick in a lot of these events, and it seems like they're always a bridesmaid or falling just short. And then, of course, 2 teams that had good weekends, Goodwood and Splash. I think Splash really helped themselves quite a bit. It's the best they looked all season. And Goodwood just keeps making good, steady progress.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with Goodwood. And when I saw them over the winter in the Dome League, they look good. They look good. And each time I've seen them, they get better and better.
And you saw on the graphic the last 2 teams that finished tied for 7th, Future and Sauce. Future had a pretty good run, I thought. They do have a little issue getting some of their guys out, but when they do, they're a very good competitive ball club. And Sauce, I think it was one of their better showings of the summer. They really upgraded, and I thought they had a real nice weekend.
Yeah, I noticed with Future, I never seen their full complement of players, but I'm just curious to see when they all come out, what they look like. I mean, they did pretty good, finishing 7th with a limited roster. So Sauce I haven't really seen this year, so I can't really comment on that, but I know they had one of our, Oliver.
Yeah, Mike Oliver, who we interviewed, he's still playing lights out. And Tom Boyle had an excellent tournament as well, another guy we had spotlighted earlier in the summer. So now we'll go to the pictures, and here's the Dirty 38s who won the tournament, and that's a happy group there. They're sporting those SSA Class A National Championship hats, and you'll notice Al didn't have a hat. We had a little mix-up with the clothing, but we got a hat for him tonight, so he'll be sporting that. And 30-38s looked very good the entire weekend. They caught the ball well, a lot of timely hitting, and the top 2 or 3 guys in their lineup were just doing massive damage. I don't know how many outs Justin made, but
not many.
He was phenomenal. And we know Joe's a great player. We covered him a couple of years ago when he was the MVP at the Terry Moran tournament, when the Dirty 38s won that. And a little more trivia on the 38s, they won a Class B national championship in 2020, the COVID year. And here they are now winning an A, so they're making progress, climbing the ladder.
Yeah, they're stacking those championship bricks high and high and high, so never know. Next thing might be some other tournament in July that might be, you never know.
Well, I'd like to see them in Joliet, but...
First things first.
Yeah. So they had a great weekend, and they certainly had a couple of tough games that they had to beat some teams. And even though they kind of dominated a very young Los Barachos team, and we'll put that picture up right now, that's just part of the process. Los Barachos also making very good progress. You'll be interviewing Steve in a few minutes. And I think that I hope the group doesn't get dissuaded, because it seems like every tournament we see them, they play a little better, a little better, a little better.
Yeah, well, they're always in the hunt, and with that, their energy and enthusiasm is going to carry them over. And once they get, like you said, the pecking order, you can't jump steps. And part of the steps of winning and being a champion is sometimes getting hit on the chin. And when you get hit on the chin so many times, you either get a concussion or you learn from your hits.
Well, it's like the old saying goes: sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield.
Yeah.
So that just happens. But I just wish Steve would be a little bit more into the games.
Oh my God, he's into the game. You're talking about, he's like a fan. He's a coach. He's a coach on steroids. He's a fan of the game. So if anybody who's into the game is Steve.
So now we'll go to the picture of the third place team, and that's the Diesel team run by Patrick. I'm having a brain fart. Moran, thank you. Pat had a wonderful weekend, made probably one of the defensive plays of the weekend, threw a guy out at home from deep left field.
Okay.
And against the Fat Kids, and also scored the game winner. And he just was all over the place for the Diesels. And I thought Sunday they looked like they were spent, but they had a good overall weekend, and they finished third.
No, they had a good weekend too. I think Diesel, if I'm not mistaken, dumped Fat Kids in the losers bracket.
They did. That's a game we did live on the SSA Facebook. Very tight game the entire way. And if you get a chance, go check it out, especially that throw that Pat made from left field. It was an eye-opening type play where you just go, oh my God. Because he was not shallow when he threw that guy out.
So what you're saying is Pat Moran might be all Geo this year.
Yeah, we'll see. You've already given me about 50 candidates.
Well, you got to have 5 different teams. That's how you got to do. You got to improvise.
We'll see. That's down the road a little bit.
All right.
So then we moved to the Fat Kids, and we got a nice picture of their group. Again, they look good for the entire weekend. They never really got blown out by anybody. They seemed to struggle a little bit when they were playing on that field too, with the wind blowing in, and it seemed to affect their offense a little bit. And I believe they lost both games on that diamond.
Field too.
Yeah, which was a tough field to play on. The 38s beat Bankroll 2-1 on that field, one of their wins on their way to the title, and that was a very nip and tuck game. And the guy sitting next to me got a big hit to tie it.
I wonder who that is.
Yeah, well, we're going to get to him.
Okay.
So here's a picture of the Cy Young Award winner, Alan Oshinsky, and of course the MVP, Julian Russell. Julian is on the left and Alan is on the right, and they're both here today, so we're going to be interviewing them very shortly. Alan only gave up one run in the 2 championship games, and Julian was playing defense and hitting his rear end off the entire day.
Nothing new. Nothing new at all with those two.
And here's a picture of the all-tournament team. I'm kind of surprised. This is probably the most all-tournament guys we've had sticking around and being in the picture. I think we had 12 on the all-tournament, and we had 9 or 10 of them here.
Okay.
So they did stick around, and every one of these guys played very, very well during the tournament. We're going to show you a listing now of all of the people on the all-tournament team. From the 38s, we got Julian Russell, Justin Montalvo, who I had just commented about. Of course, we know Joe is a terrific player. And Dante Davis, the little short center. First time I saw Dante played, he had a real nice weekend. He was catching the ball, finding ways to get on base, and he had a real nice weekend as well. Then we get to Los Barachos, Luke Lowry, Alex Cotto, and a guy that is making a very fast name for himself, Dominic Jacoby, who me and George had the pleasure of covering a little bit when he was in high school for the CPS championships. And he was a good-looking player back then, and he looks like he's just getting better and better all the time. I pity poor Steve, who's going to have to try to hold on to him. But then we get to the Diesels. They had Patrick Moran and Billy Stewart on the all-tournament team. They both had great weekends. Tom Boyle from the Fat Kids, who we've been talking about pretty much all summer.
Yep.
We also had Marky Robinson, who runs the Splash team, and Marky had a real good weekend, as did their entire team. And a guy I really, really like a lot on that Goodwood team, Hector Melendez, very fiery pitcher who really gets the whole group going. And he was a big pickup for Goodwood, and it has really been a great addition. He's fit in with that group, and along with some of the other guys they have, like Jeremy Fowler, who's a all-geo guy.
He finally picked one, huh?
Yeah, well, he was on last year's squad.
Well, you can't repeat?
Well, we'll see.
All right.
It's a mystery, Jared.
All right. You got to come up with something. You got to give us something.
Right. So anyways, show you the corporate sponsors real quick again. Please support them. Please support all of our sponsors. Very important to what we do. So we're going to be back here in a minute with Julian Russell and Alan Oshinsky for a little bit of an interview here live on the Facebook show. So we'll be right back, folks. Okay, so we're back. Alan Oshinsky, Julian Russell. So let's show the folks some of the hardware you guys got.
Let's go, Julian.
So this is what I'm holding is Julian's All-Tournament Award, or MVP. this is the all-tournament plaque and the Cy Young plaque. So you guys took home a lot of hardware. I did ask you where the championship trophy was, but apparently somebody absconded with it to take a picture with their dad and never gave it back to you.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, Mike Ross, the infamous father of Mark Ross, I think he played for Solutions for a long time. But Mark brought it home to his dad to, I think, put it next to his dad's second place trophy. I think is the call that, that Mark wanted to do. So yeah, it's a good, smart move by Mark. He'll be coming over soon, Jew, to stay over at your place, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because when I was with Flashback, the first two no gloves we won, everybody kept grabbing the trophy. So when we won the third one, I never even brought it to the team party. I left it in the car. So I got that sitting at home too. So you run the team. You guys won a B already. Now you won an A. You guys are making the good progress. And why don't you give us a little background on the 38s, how you run your club, and how you've been able to keep the group together and keep moving forward.
Yeah, so 38s come from the north side of Chicago. Hamlin Park is our home park. We played a lot of parks up there, Mather Park with different teams, Horner Park, and we ventured off a little bit as we've played a little bit more into Forest Park on Tuesdays. And, lucky for me, it's a collection of a lot of my best friends from grade school, high school, and college. And the guys seem to get along really well, and it ends up that we end up being pretty good along the way, and that helps the cause playing in competitive ball. So, one of the things that we focus on and have always is just making sure that we don't play as much, so we get our families and our friends out to support us, and we really create an environment that we can spend with our friends and family in addition, right? I grew up going to Hamlin Park every Tuesday and Thursday with my dad playing for 20 years, and it was all about being with the friends that were there. And I didn't know what I was doing half the time, but you end up going there enough. You play outfield and you go catch and fly balls in BP, and it's about being there with your friends and family, and that's what the environment I think we try to create here. And Jew can speak to maybe more of our growth in the last couple of years, since Jew's joined our team, but we've definitely taken a step into more competitive ball. But it all starts back at Hamlin Park. We play on Thursday nights, and we're proud to play there.
Yeah, I remember when you guys won the Class B, you sent me a Facebook message, and you were like, "This is just the beginning."
Yeah.
And I was chuckling because we here at the SSA, we love it when we get these young teams, and we've been around now for 13, 14 years, and so we get to see teams progress. And you guys do it right. You guys bring the tent out. You guys hang out all day. And I want to give a shout out to your wife, because you were supposed to go see her play softball tonight, and she yelled at you apparently.
She said, "You got to come out. The SSA, they support you, so you got to support back." She said they're going to lose tonight anyways. I wish her the best of luck. She's playing right now. I think she's going to do great. But she encouraged me to come out with you and speak on the 38th for sure.
Yeah. Well, when you texted me that, I told you she's a keeper. So thanks for letting your husband come out tonight.
Nice job, Angie.
Shout out Angie.
Yeah, there you go. Now let's shift gears a little bit, and we'll talk to the MVP, Julian Russell. So, Julian, if you could comment a little bit on the team's development, but before you do, I just wanted to ask you, your MVP, you won the tournament. What was that like? How did you feel when you guys got the last out?
It felt great. We've worked very hard to win a big tournament like this. We won a few one-day tournaments, but the fact that we could do it over, a 3-day course, guys were battling injuries. Some guys had work, other things to do with life. It felt good. So, we're long overdue to win, I think, the A tournament. We had a couple decent runnings the last few years, so it's finally good to come over the hump, beat a great Barachos team. They had a great tournament. Diesel's also a great tournament. It's good to see those teams do well and the rest of the groups out there. But, words can't really express how happy we were. It might not look like it as much on camera, but we were very excited.
Well, I got to tell you, I thought one of the biggest moments was when you played bankroll and there was an open base. And let's face it, Connor was struggling a little bit on Saturday. But they pitched to you, and I was a little surprised because I'm a big believer, don't pitch to guys that are the best player or the guy you don't want to beat him. And right after the words got out of my mouth, right on cue, you made me look like a genius. You got a base hit.
I hope.
And you guys ended up winning that game in 8 innings. And, you know, I'm a big believer that in every tournament, the team that wins always has one tough game.
That was a tough game. I mean, that was Diamond 2 again, where the wind was blowing in big time. So it was, talked to Matty Dozen about it. He was right. He said it pretty good, where you don't really want to change your mentality hitting, but when the wind's blowing in, now you start thinking a little bit more that I have to be more specific where to place the ball and just be more careful, however you want to phrase it. So I think it definitely struggled for both teams to hit the ball well. But yeah, I mean, they pitched to me, and I'm glad it paid off.
There you go. So tell us a little bit about your thoughts on how the Dirty 38s have been progressing through the years. You know, the big hot stove rumor last winter was that you were maybe going to leave. You didn't. So, you know, what's your mindset? What do you like about this team? Why?
You know, we can play with anybody, which I believe that in softball, period. I mean, the ball's round. Anybody can win any day. But when we get the guys out there, we're tough. We play really good defense all around, very good defense. And when we start doing the little things with hitting, with moving guys over, you know, just playing the game of baseball, softball, that kind of mentality, then we get really tough to beat, which I think our guys last few years, we've just had more of those conversations, not like outside the game. You know, again, like we're all buddies. We all hang out. Just talking the game more and getting guys to kind of understand how to play, maybe smarter and not so much the physical stuff. It turns us into a better team.
So one last thing I want to ask both of you guys. I was very impressed with Justin, and I know Joe's a good player, but why don't you give us a little background and let us know just how good are those two kids?
I'll do Joe, since he's my roommate from college. You got
That's
Jay.
fair.
Yeah, no. So Joe,
Is that a disclaimer?
yeah. Joe's a very good friend of mine, one of my best friends, and he just comes from a spot where he works hard. And you know, funny enough, when we started the team, he wasn't batting first to begin with, right? I didn't give him that opportunity, and he said, "Man, give me the chance to prove that I can be the leadoff guy. Give me and so I did, and he's never looked back. And the guy he's developed a really nice cut ball over first base, in addition to that excellent slap ball he puts on the any side of the left field, the left side of the field, and he's really taken the game on and looks effortless in it. But I know he puts in.
Athlete. He's like
He's not.
elbows
He's
and
tall,
arms
skinny.
and skinny. And, but yet, the more you watch him, you're like, man, this son of a gun's on base all the time, and he's getting to everything, and he should get to in right field. And you know, the few times I've seen him play, he's been excellent.
Yeah, the man loves the humid, hot weather. You'll see him in the down jacket if it's 50 degrees, and he talks about his knees and his back. He is a dad now, so you know, shout out to him and his beautiful wife and daughter. He's come a really long way, and I'm super proud of how he's developed and he's taken the lead on the team. And he'll speak up when he can, and he talks a little crap sometimes, but it's part of the game.
Of course. So
Justin is he's our best player, in my opinion, and a few of our opinions. I mean, he's definitely our best hitter. He can hit both lines, gaps when he wants to, and then I mean, he's just a stud. He plays third base now, which I know was a move for him at one point in time from short, but he's really picked it up at third. But the biggest part of the tournament was Justin was, when he started softball, was arguably one of the best outfielders. Not that people had known that,
Yeah, right.
but he was one of the best outfielders defensively, and as long as he could hit. He wouldn't play outfield anymore, which is another story. But we had some guys go down during the weekend, and we all had a conversation. And before the words even came out of my mouth to put him in the outfield, Justin came out and said, "I'll go out there. As long as we win, there's no problem." Which I just wanted to make known that was a huge difference for us, because again, we were missing some guys and injuries are part of the game. But when he went to the outfield, it helped keep the lineup lengthened, keep the defense sound, and he's the real MVP for the weekend.
well, I tell you, I didn't see him. I think when I was doing your games, he might have made 1 or 2 outs. And I ended up doing, I think, 3 of your games. And at third base, he was a vacuum cleaner. He was catching everything
He's
over
a
there.
stud. He's a stud.
Yeah, he's a good-looking. I don't know if I should call him a young player because I don't know how old he is, but
He's like 40.
Also, new dad, shout out to his
He is
wife.
a new dad.
Beautiful
A lot of new
son.
dads on the team.
Yeah,
So
all new
the,
dads.
so the Dirty 38 entourage is growing.
Yeah, you better
which is
believe
great.
it. Yeah, you better believe it.
Yeah, so some legacy kids. Let's just pull this in right away.
Yeah, please.
I want to make sure that everybody knows that we did give Alan his hat.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
We'll be sporting it later. Don't worry.
There you go. And so Alan Oshinsky, Julian Russell, Dirty 38s, team making some noise. And we're going to be back in a couple of minutes with an interview with Steve Rodriguez and Jerry Brown.
Hello, everybody. We're back. I'm here. I got Steve from Los Borrachos, and we're going to have a little interview, have him get to know him and his team better. Steve, thank you. Appreciate you coming aboard.
Thanks, Dr. Brown. How's
right.
everyone out there?
So, first question. Let's start off like this. Tell us something about the history of your squad.
Well, our team was started over a decade ago by my uncle up north at Hiawatha Park. And due to some unforeseen circumstances, I actually took over 3 years ago and started bringing around a couple of younger guys who played high school together at Taft, and we slowly started just building and moving up together, and that's pretty much where we're at right now.
So you're the right man in the right spot.
Absolutely,
Okay.
a man of destiny.
There you go. It's a man of destiny. Now, question number 2. Where'd you get the name from?
Well, the name Los Borrachos is from a Latin American bingo game for the drunkard. But it's 2024. We wanted to evolve a little bit, so we changed it to LBSC.
Okay.
So Los Borrachos Softball Club.
All right. I got something for you. It's really for Dom. When we played you guys in 18th and Damon, he hit a ball so far in the right center gap, and I finally found it. The ball that he hit, and he hit it, about 400-something feet, and there's the LBC, there's the logo and everything on there.
What a game, huh?
Yeah, that
Great game.
was a good game. Came down to the walk-off, and the walk-off was big. But the one thing I noticed about your squad is the energy you guys have. And that comes directly from, it starts with you, and then it just goes to Cato, who's my favorite, and then it just shoots on out. And tell me about, where did you get a hold of 8 young players? Normally, when you have a team, you get 1, maybe 2, 3, but you're loaded with 8 great players.
Well, to that, I have to thank all of our coaches and our quasi-coaches, Sean McReady and Anthony Valacento and Chu Cardenas and stuff like that. We were able to bring a couple of guys together who brought more guys, and everyone has equity on this team.
That's nice.
We may be young, but everyone is hungry, and we're very united.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. Now, do you think that the Dome League or playing year round has helped you guys? Because you played in the Dome in the winter. Have you played like 8 months out the year?
Absolutely, but not so much for what you think. For example, when I had to start running the league, I was able to reach out to guys like Sal Malazzo and Pat Caputo and my mentor, Francisco Arenas. That helped quite a bit. And being able to play so much and run a league and see the ins and outs of how softball works, it definitely helped because, again, everyone just got together and we molded. So, definitely.
Yeah, I think playing year round is really a big plus. I mean, it gives you, especially when you're young, gives you the reps and you get the chemistry and the continuity as a unit, and it's unwritten stuff that a shortstop can say to a short center, and you guys have the continuity. It's like you guys are developing that real well. Now, my favorite thing about you is you coach like a fan. You're into the game, man. You're coaching like a fan. You're coaching, and you're into the game, and you get me pumped up, and I'm just sitting there watching you guys.
Yeah, I know I've got to sometimes bring that in, rein in a little bit.
No. You got to be you. The key thing is, man, you have to be you.
I definitely will.
Yeah. So don't change. Even though Francisco's the quiet version, you're the opposite version.
Yeah.
That's a good. Both are great versions.
Well,
so there's more than one way to skin a cat.
No, I'm definitely excited when we're out there because I know everyone cares, and that's huge in anything in life. I work with 2 amazing softball minds, Chris and Larry Downs, and they're always telling me things, that I can work on and do. But at the end of the day, they all know, and everyone in softball knows, I'm going to be myself, and that's kind of what separates us in a lot of ways. So yeah.
Larry Don's one of my favorite players of all time. Of the great 45 team. If you guys didn't see, if you guys missed out on, didn't see that 45 team with Larry Downs, Jeff Berger, a couple of Ricky Gankar. I can go on and on and on with the great players. That was a great softball team from 1 to 11. And it seems like when I watched those 45 teams, the one thing I loved about those teams, I love about your team, everybody knew their role. You didn't have a guy, all of the team was in the dugout, represent that.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you. Sorry, go ahead.
No, please go ahead. Keep going.
I was just going to say another thing, too, was congratulations to the 38s. They are an amazing team. They've managed to stick together, and they're definitely a blueprint of what we're looking for. We had a kid play in the tournament that you mentioned. He came from prom, and the next day he was starting for us in a big tournament. I mean, to hear that one of our starters was missing. We were missing 3 on Sunday. No excuses. 38s deserve everything they got. One of our kids was out literally selling ice cream at Dairy Queen on a Sunday, 19-year-old, and it's a cool thing to have. It really is. We're very fortunate.
It's always a good experience, man. Part of the path, like I stated before, when Gio and I were talking, is that part of the path to being a champion is going through the bumps. The Bulls didn't start off winning; they had to go through a process of winning to learn how to win. And I think you guys are heading in the right direction. There's nothing to be ashamed about, because I know all 21 teams would trade places to be in second place or to play in that championship series. So there is zero to be to feel down about, and the road looks up and the sky looks looks bright for you guys.
Thanks, Doc. I really appreciate it.
So, what's your plans for the rest of the season?
Well, we'd like to play anywhere we are invited. Upwards, though, of course. We were fortunate enough to be offered a chance to play in B Nationals, which we respectfully declined. We want to test ourselves against other teams and just keep playing together. It's a fine line for us right now because, again, as you mentioned, there's only been 6 teams that have ever won the winner's bracket, so we're proud to say that we are one of them. So we want to be humble enough to realize that part of history, yet we want to be hungry enough to want to push ourselves to that next level.
Okay. Now, are you guys interested in playing in the SSA glove when it comes up in Labor Day weekend? And if so, are you guys familiar playing with the glove?
We are definitely going to play in a glove. Even if we were not necessarily ready, we're going to start getting ready. We're going to start doing everything together. We were on the phone after we lost on Sunday and working things out. I was mentioning to Julie and to Alan that we're definitely going to make sure that we are prepared.
Okay. Well, the way you're going, you always have them prepared. You always have them ready to play. So I don't think anything's going to change with that. So with that being said, I'd like to thank you for coming out.
Of course, my pleasure. Thanks for having us.
We'll have you again next time be the champion of the SSA glove or no glove, whatever, and I'll be the first to interview you.
I appreciate it. Thanks. Hey, this guy's amazing.
Yeah.
Everything he does, he's a very smart man and teaches me a lot. So thanks for everything.
Well, thank you everybody, and we'll be right back.
Okay, we're back with Jerry Brown. You just saw a couple of nice interviews with Julian, Allen, and Stevo Rodriguez. And you can tell why the Los Borrachos are on how they want to run their teams and the structure they have and how close-knit they are.
Yeah, I mean, they're both teams are on the path to success down the road. If they're not there, both teams are heading in the right direction. It's going to be really enjoyable to watch them develop as a team, develop as a unit.
Right, and me and you have been talking. There are so many good young players starting to flash and pop all over the place, and we saw a few of them over the weekend. Pat Moran had a great tournament. Dom Jacoby on, and I think that the game's moving in the right direction. And I think in another couple of years, when all these young kids have established themselves and we keep seeing the newer kids come up and pop, I think softball's going to be in a kind of a very new, exciting age.
But these guys are fast. These guys are strong, and these guys fly around the base. They do everything a millisecond faster. So it looks like we're going in the right direction, and we're in good hands.
I think so. So we hope you enjoyed the wrap-up show, and we covered a lot of ground, a lot of things today, and we'll have more softball, obviously, a lot of things coming up. A couple of weeks, Francisco Arenas, his Class B National Championship tournament out here in Melrose. And of course, I've commented on the live stream. That is a crazy, crazy weekend.
Yeah, you're gonna be wearing a lot of different hats.
Yeah, it's going to be rough, but we'll get through it. We'll make sure we show you as much softball as we can. So on behalf of the SSA, Jerry Brown, George Bliss, and the rest of us here at SSA, thank you for tuning in, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you.